Welcome to Tiffdoesloans podcast. So today I am at Wealthcon 2024, Ryan Pineda's, and I have Dakota Bailey. He's going to go over some Indiana real estate with us. How are you?
Good. Thank you.
Thank you so much for just getting into conversation today. So he has so much experience in the Indiana market, fix and flip, and wholesale.
Yep.
So just tell us a little bit about that and kind of how you got started there and, what's working for you.
Sure. Yeah, so we actually started off in the rental space, which is kind of funny. So I was working at a dealership making, around $100,000, $150,000 a year. And then I just kept my expenses super low. And so what we did is we just bought a rental. We'd rehab it. We did the, refinancing and then just repeating that cycle. Basically, we were recycling through about $100,000. And then we just kept doing that. We got up to about 25, 30 rentals, which is when we joined Ryan Pineda's program.
Yep.
Back then it was called Future Flipper. And then he kept telling us, he's like, dude, you got to start flipping and create an actual business.
Yep.
I'm like, I don't know about that. And so we kept doing it. And then eventually about a year later, I'm like, dude, Ryan makes a lot of sense now. So that was when we started to hire people. And then I actually left my job in car sales in 2021. And what is working for us is, shoot, that's a tough question to answer because it's a lot of different marketing stuff.
Absolutely.
Texting is the number one marketing source that works the best for us. But I think that you have to have really good sales skills too in order to actually close deals. So it depends on if you mean marketing or sales. That's going to be like the game changer for people. But texting is the best.
Okay, to get to the client, I feel like texting is the best for me too.
Yep.
Or I do a lot of video.
Yep.
So I'm kind of, and Ryan just kind of mentioned it, the podcast, the relationship. So
Yep.
I feel like I leaned into that more, but also the texting or like video messaging.
Yep, 100%.
And then you also said sales. So like what would be the sales aspect?
So sales is honestly, in my opinion, one of the most important things, especially when you're going to be wholesaling. So I actually just had somebody else ask me, they're like, man, can you be a wholesaler without having sales skills? I'm like, if you're not a natural salesperson, you need to hire somebody that is, because you can't do wholesaling without sales skills because you can't close deals. So I think sales is one of the most important things for wholesaling.
And then what part, just like for our audience that might not know, but like what would the key aspect of like wholesaling be, or like what is wholesaling, just for our audience?
Oh, sure. Yeah. So wholesaling is basically like an agreement between a seller and then you. And then basically what you're going to do is you're going to sign a piece of paper that says, hey, I'm buying your property for, let's just say $100,000.
Yep.
Then you're going to go and market the actual contract itself and just say, hey, I have this property. I'm willing to sell it for, $120,000, let's just say, to the end buyer. The property is actually worth maybe $200,000. So the investor is going to be the person who's buying it directly from the other person for the 100, and then you just make the $20,000 in between.
Wow.
So you don't actually come up with the money. All you have to do is have the contract, and then you can basically have them buy it, and then bam, you make the money in between.
And then so just kind of like the middleman right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Amazing. And then you guys also, so that's like 70% of your real estate.
Yep.
And then how many units do you guys have?
So we have about 80 rentals.
Okay. 80 rentals, and then so about 70% wholesale, and then the rest is going to be fix and flip.
Yep. And then sometimes whenever it doesn't go well, basically what I did in our business is just tried to automate everything.
Yep.
So we're going to wholesale everything first, give first opportunity to the dispo guy. Then after that, we're going to buy and list it. So that just means we call it wholesale. So you just, buy it, clean it out, put it on the market, see if somebody else wants to buy it. Then if that doesn't work, we take it down, we flip it. If it goes on the market and it still doesn't sell after we flip it, then we take it down, we add it to our rental portfolio, just because it's difficult. We're buying 20 to 25 deals a month now, and it gets difficult to decide on what you're going to do with every single property. And so we don't try to maximize every property. We try to just maximize the system and the process, which is different than how other people usually do it.
And I love that you guys have the whole no, we're going to do this, but if not, the whole game plan to the end. So it definitely shows why you've been so successful.
Yeah.
So you really have that whole plan together. So that is amazing. And everyone, if you want to know more about the Indiana market, I'm going to have all of Dakota's information below. Feel free to share, and subscribe.